Well, this is Steve Ridgell, and as many of you know, at Hillcrest, where I'm on staff, I teach a class on Wednesday nights called The Jesus Journey. It's for people looking to figure out what is the Jesus journey, how do I get on the Jesus journey, how do I come back to my Jesus journey, how do I stay on my Jesus journey. It's those kind of things, and as you would expect and hope, we spend a lot of time talking about Jesus. So in doing that, we recently talked about Judas. What do you do with Judas? Because there are a lot of people, I think, that actually say, well, I'd never betrayed Jesus. But when you really look at your life, we do. There are things that we promise Jesus we will do, and we don't. And things we promise Jesus we will not do, and we do. And sometimes it becomes a whole lifetime journey away from Jesus. And then you want to come back. And I think that's where Judas is helpful. Because when Judas betrayed Jesus, he was sorry he did it. He took the money back. He confessed that he had betrayed an innocent man, that he had sinned. He did all the right things, and then he went and hung himself. And so in that class, we talked about what do you do when you realize you've really betrayed Jesus. Something you just did or didn't do, or for a period of years, and you've betrayed Jesus. Because here's where I think the problem with Judas is. Judas did not get it. He got repentance. He got confession. He got taking action to prove his repentance. But he didn't understand the forgiveness that Jesus offers. I don't know if he thought he could not be forgiven for something so horrible. I don't know if he just couldn't get past the guilt of doing something so bad. I don't know if he was so ashamed. But we deal with a lot of people who claim to have followed Jesus and then really blew their life up. And they are ashamed and they're guilt-ridden, and boy, they sometimes get so depressed over it. They just don't want to live. And I wish Judas, and I wish anybody, that's why we teach the story of Judas. Judas never understood Jesus would have forgiven him. Would there have always been even some of the apostles maybe that didn't want to? Sure. Yep. And I can only imagine how tough it would have been on Judas to go somewhere to preach and have everyone bring up his betrayal. But the point is, Jesus would have forgiven him. Jesus would have restored him. Jesus would have used him. And Judas never got it. But Peter did. Peter denied Jesus, remember? And all the shame and the guilt, and he cried bitter tears. There's the start of his repentance. But the difference is Peter got it. He knew he was forgiven. And less than 2 months after his betrayal, he preached such a powerful sermon. 3,000 people accepted Jesus in baptism. Peter got it, Judas didn't. Maybe that's why Peter was such a powerful preacher. So if you have ever wrestled, maybe you're wrestling now with something you've done that's horrible and you don't think you can live with the guilt and shame, 2 things I would tell you. Jesus does forgive and Jesus does restore. And if you're watching people that have blown up their life after they claim to love Jesus, please understand that if you really want to be a Jesus follower, don't mess your life up by refusing to forgive or restore someone that loves Jesus and did a horrible thing. Well, this is Steve Ridgell telling you I've done the horrible thing and been forgiven. And I've helped a lot of other people see that Jesus still loves them, still forgives them. Be like Peter. Don't be like Judas. Get Jesus.